Hi everyone, I'm Joe Borgia. This is the first in a series of educational videos where we will break down a specific play type. Let's start with screens. With about 200 per game, this is the most common play now in the NBA. While there are many different types of screens, the principles of screening are the same for all of them. Let's take a closer look. This first play is an example of a legal screen set against a moving opponent. To be legal, Thaddeus Young must get directly into Jeremy Lin's path and give him the opportunity to avoid contact. The speed of Lin will determine the distance Young must give him to avoid contact. Once Young gets to that spot, he may move in the same direction as Lin or move slightly to firm up and absorb the contact. Since Young met all this criteria, this is a legal screen. Contrary to the last screen, the screener here, Domantas Sabonis, does not get directly into Andrew Wiggins' path, nor does he give him the opportunity to avoid contact. This screen does not meet the criteria for a legal screen, and an offensive foul is the correct ruling. Here is another example of an illegal screen against a moving opponent, but this time in a pick-and-roll situation. As Bogdan Bogdanovic goes under the screen, Alex Len rolls towards the basket, and in doing so, picks off Bogdanovic. Since Len did not get directly into Bogdanovic's path prior to contact, and the contact affected his speed, quickness, balance, or rhythm, this is an offensive foul for an illegal screen. Another type of illegal screen against a moving opponent can be seen on this handoff screen. Following his handoff to Kent Bazemore, Ersan Ilyasova pivots and turns into Kemba Walker. As we turn the camera 90 degrees, we can see the illegal movement. Once again, to be legal, Ilyasova must get directly into Walker's path and give him an opportunity to avoid the screen. Since that criteria was not met, this is an illegal screen. This off-ball screen against a moving opponent also does not meet the criteria of a legal screen. As Marcin Gortat sets the screen to free up Bradley Beal, he moves to his right and initiates contact to Jared Bayless, which affects his speed, quickness, balance, or rhythm. Since Marcin never established a position directly in Bayless's path and continued to move laterally while making contact, this is an offensive foul for an illegal screen. This next play is an example of a legal screen set against the stationary player. When screening from the front or side to a stationary opponent, the screener can get as close to him, short of illegal contact, as Kyle Korver does here to Courtney Lee. If he screens from the back, as in a blind screen, he must give Lee one step prior to contact to be considered legal. Since Kyle screened from the side, this meets the criteria for a legal screen. On this play, Steven Adams initially sets a legal screen against Lance Thomas, but as Thomas attempts to go over the screen, Adams re-screens and illegally contacts him. When screeners re-screen, they must re-establish a legal position prior to contact to avoid being whistled for an offensive foul. Let's shift our focus to a legal screening stance. Watch Timofey Mozgov set this screen. To start, we can see his legs are no wider than shoulder width. Mozgov also has his arms in, towards his body, and not extended outward from his sides or forward. Lastly, he is in an upright position and not extending any part of his body outward. This stance meets the criteria for a legal screen. Now that we have seen a legal screening position, let's look at some examples where that criteria is not met. On this play, Anthony Davis screens Mario Chalmers to free up Drew Holiday. As Chalmers goes over the screen, Davis extends his right arm, forcing Chalmers to take a longer path to catch up to Holiday. This push by Davis does not meet the criteria of a legal stance as it rerouted Chalmers. Offensive foul is the correct ruling. Keep your eye on the highlighted player, Nene, as he sets a screen for Eric Gordon. Nene sets his legs too wide, outside shoulder width, and as Dylan Brooks goes over the screen, Brooks trips over that extended leg. That makes this an illegal screen. Please note, had Brooks contacted Nene in the chest area, or avoided contact completely, this would not be considered illegal. As we just mentioned, the fact that a screener sets his legs too wide does not automatically mean he is illegal. While Alex Len's legs are clearly set outside shoulder width, Alan Crabb only contacts Len in the chest area, making this a legal screen. Once again, had Crabb only contacted Len's extended leg and it affected his speed, quickness, balance, or rhythm, the screen would then become illegal. Let's talk about screeners' movement after establishing a legal position. Screeners do not have to have both feet on the court, nor do they have to stay completely stationary. Screeners are allowed some slight movement to firm up their position, but cannot deliver a blow with that movement. On this screen, Nikola Jokic gets directly into Joe Ingles' path, then moves slightly to his left to firm up. Jokic absorbs the contact and does not deliver a blow to Ingles, making this a legal screen. Now let's look at some illegal movement which is not considered firming up. DeMarcus Cousins gets to a legal position, but when he firms up, he delivers a blow to Lonzo Ball. Had Cousins absorbed the contact while firming up, this would have been a legal screen. However, since Cousins delivered a blow, this is an offensive foul for an illegal screen. Watch J.R. Smith, the highlighted player, on this off-ball screen. Smith starts in a legal position, but then moves to his right and extends a forearm into the chest of Lauri Markkanen. This contact is illegal and not a firm up, as Smith delivers a blow and it affects Markkanen's speed, quickness, balance, or rhythm, and thus an offensive foul. On this next play, Mason Plumlee steps to his left, which creates a very wide base. As Plumlee shifts his weight over his left leg, he moves his body to a new position, and this is not considered firming up, but illegal movement. Plumlee also delivers a blow to Alec Burks as he goes around the screen, making this an obvious offensive foul. Thanks for watching. We hope you now have a better understanding of screens. Look for our next educational video coming soon.